Welcome back, everybody. It's good to have you back. It's Alu, and this is 24/8, 8 days of hustle in 7. I have a very special guest with me here today. His name is Mark Eastman. I've known him for a while, but I'll let Mark give an introduction to him for himself. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks, Eric. My name is Mark Eastman. I live here in Louisville, Kentucky. 26 years old, and I'm a former retail employee, and now I currently invest in large real estate for a bank. And this is my story of how I got here.
I brought Mark on because Mark does have a unique story. I've known him since how old? Like 18, Mark, or maybe?
I'm 17.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's a long time. But we started off at Best Buy together. This week's episode is actually titled "Retail Hell." Don't let that steer you the wrong direction. You'll see when we start talking about it why that is the title. Mark, from the very first time I met Mark, is like there was just something about Mark that was just that more than meets the eye. That you knew he had a bigger purpose in life. And the first question I want to ask Mark, just to things get kicked off, is how was your experience at Best Buy? Like, what was the takeaway, giveaway, all that good stuff in the first beginning of retail for you?
So I actually have sort of a twofold at Best Buy, and so I worked there twice, and I'll kind of just break it down between both experiences. My first experience when we first met, that was actually my first job. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh wow.
That was my first job. I was selling car audio, and I had really big eyes for the world, and I was really excited just to have a job. And I would do anything anyone asked me. And as you know, I was fearless and talked to every customer and really enjoyed it. But I hadn't really figured out life at that point yet. So I think I worked there the first round for around 8 or 9 months. And I had just started college. And I thought to myself, there's no way I could do this job in college at the same time, which turned out to be really incorrect. And so I spent a few months away, and obviously I didn't burn any bridges, which is really important. And I kept in touch with everybody that I worked with, and I reached out to a couple people about coming back in a different capacity, not necessarily, car audio.
Right.
And just because I wanted to do something different, maybe something more sophisticated. And somebody offered the opportunity to come back in Best Buy Mobile, selling cell phones.
Yes. Yeah.
Just as a natural tech lover, I was like, oh, absolutely. So I decided to come back and interview, and I ended up interviewing with some pretty tough folks who were much more sophisticated, and I knew that it was going to be a really good opportunity. So coming back, I came back in that capacity, and I really enjoyed it. A little bit more complicated sort of business operations, but it was a really good learning experience.
I think you had like the perfect personality for Best Buy Mobile too, because you had to talk to more people like at a frequent weight than you had to in your car audio. I knew when I worked with you, I was like, oh man, this dude has so much positive energy. Like he makes me want to work as hard as him. And that being said, I was already a hard worker, so that's like, wow, okay. But I do agree with you, because I started off as an occasional seasonal worker between Best Buy Mobile and computers, and this is after I left Sprint. I just decided to come back and work retail just cause. But it was so much I learned from Best Buy, from some of the people that I've worked with, and most of them. But I just had questions because I've done sales before, so it was more to me than a sales job. But I feel like that's with most jobs, you take away from what you want to learn from it. I mean, you can clock in every day and do the same thing every day, and then that kind of becomes mundane, and then you get bored and you complain. But Best Buy is like a big box retail store, and as you know, there are good employees, bad employees. So once we start getting this discussion going, I kind of want to go through the flow, because now we worked at Best Buy together. You just reminded me before this started that we worked at AT&T together, which is so funny. I just have a bad memory, I guess. But these are the type of things that I really want to talk about, because I've seen in different stages and, like you said, different capacities, employees and coworkers. Cause I was a manager at Sprint for a little while. Then I worked at Best Buy for a while. Now I'm at AT&T. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen is that it's been rare that whether you're a manager or just an employee, a solid, good worker. Which it shouldn't be that way, but every phase I've seen. But what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I do agree with you, Aaron, that every worker is completely different.
Yeah.
I think it's up to the manager to decide how he's going to motivate individually. And really, that kind of starts with the hiring process, really getting to know some of these people that want to work for you and building a good relationship. But that sort of changes as, managers come and go, employees come and go and transfer. You kind of get like an amalgam of different people. So that can be kind of hard to do. I don't know if that answered what
I mean, it does. And I like that because you kind of gave me another path to go. So let's start off with the manager position first. Then we go to the employee one after. I like what you said. It comes down to the manager. And I've worked with a lot of managers, and I promise you, with every job that I've had, they're already in my head. There's only been a handful of managers that I can actually say that have been great managers. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to put anybody on blast, but the names are in my head. And those managers, the qualities that they had and the skill they had, they were leaders, right? So they not only led you by action, they also taught you a lot. They didn't leave you hanging. So if they saw that you were kind of dazed, confused, or lost, they had that desire to help you. It was more than just helping you in the retail manner. They wanted to help you in life. They wanted to show you everything you needed to learn to be the best at that job. There are a lot of managers that I know now, even over the years, that just managed, right? They took it too much to heart. They just managed. And that's where they come with that negative term, which I hate that term, micromanage. I don't believe in it. If you've been in a sales job before, you know that higher ups, it's like a trickle down effect. They put the pressure on you, so that's where micromanaging comes from. But if a manager can't relay that message in a positive manner, and where they can help and build that employee, I think that's where the gap is. And I've seen a lot of managers really slack at that and just not be able to do that. And they want to say that, lazy employees when I say they're being micromanaged. It's like a tennis match, back and forth. But it's kind of taking ownership, because even me being a non-manager position right now, I take ownership just to help everybody around me. Because there's a lot of pressure. Because I have a sales job, not all retail have that same pressure of sales, but I just want a manager that kind of understands where the employee is going from, but that is more than understanding, it's teaching them how to succeed. So let's start with that. Give me your thoughts about good and bad managers.
If we talk about Best Buy specifically,
yeah,
that experience and just a large, retailer, just any large retailer in general, the employees are held accountable to a number.
Right. Right.
So that needs to be communicated to the employee pretty much on day one. And there was a lot of managers that I didn't care for because they only cared about that number. Which,
right.
Respectfully, they should. But the really good ones, now that I think about them, they did a really good job of explaining how to get to those numbers and different behaviors and habits and really teaching repetition. So although the job, wasn't a career level job and I was really young, that was explained to me by some really great people at a young age. And just that alone, that put me in the camp of those people. And I thought in my head, okay, well, if they leave this place, I'm leaving this place because I want to follow them.
Right.
And, and also it's just sort of a equal respect thing as well. When they're showing you how to get to these numbers and, all these different behaviors that you really should be presenting on a day-to-day basis, and it's sort of a positive interaction. When you start to make mistakes and they identify those, you start to respect those mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's just a positive coaching environment. And I think that if you can build that relationship from the very beginning, you're going to have a lot of people who can really trust you.
I think that you said something that I just loved. They taught you behaviors, but keyword taught. They didn't push behaviors on you or tell you what the behaviors were, and they didn't it wasn't just about numbers to them, and that kind of like connects to what I said. It wasn't just about the retail setting. They wanted to help you kind of understand the overall thing, like how you said when you first came to Best Buy, you were young, you didn't really know what you wanted to do. These people, those great managers, teach you skills and behaviors that will help you not just in your current job, in life. And I feel like that's what a lot of managers should have. All managers should have. They should be able to have that connection with their employees. Now, managers should not have to babysit. Managers should not have to do any of that. But what they should be able to do, because they took upon this title, took upon this position, is to help people get to that. You can't expect numbers or success if you're not helping them with these behaviors, and it is a culture. And I do like that what you said about that. Now we can go to the other side, which is the employee. Now, being that I've been a manager before, two different capacities, one in a retail setting, one in a non-retail setting, it does come down to people, but most of my time I've been an employee, so I've been my coworkers. It's been a lot of chatter, a lot of talk, my manager's micromanaging me, like they're not doing their job. What is your take on the good and the bad employee?
I really think it comes down to just being honest with yourself.
Yes, exactly.
If you're in a big box retail setting, so if we're still really talking about Best Buy, I mean, are you engaging the amount of customers you should be engaging? Are you demonstrating the behaviors that you learned? Did you even pay attention to the training? And I think it all comes down to you're never better than the job that you have.
Yes.
And you really should be working for the job that you don't have, that you want. And, it's a funny story that's sort of a failure. I probably was one of the leading salespeople at the time, and one of my managers, I'm not going to name names, one of my managers said, I want you to be our sales lead. And I said, great. What does that mean? He goes, well, you're going to coach your fellow employees, and, you're going to remind them of certain things, and, since you follow sort of the culture that we want, we just want you to be like the lead demonstrator, and also continue to be the top salesperson. But it was really to teach my skills to my fellow employees, and I thought I had this in the bag.
Right.
All the way up to the very last interview, which was with the store manager, who I didn't necessarily have the best relationship with. He was like, well, why do you want this position? And I was like, oh, I really want to teach my skills and show people how I do this and all that stuff. And he was like, honestly, we would really like you just to keep doing what you're doing and just slap the name on it. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, I feel like he just told me I can't have this position that's been offered to me in 10 different ways.
Right.
And so that actually ended up not working out. I ended up not becoming a lead, and that was a huge blunder. And I was really embarrassed and thought, ooh, I don't know if I want to show my face around here. But it was also, sort of humbling in a way. And around that time, there was a camp of people that decided to go to AT&T for a really good opportunity, and primarily because of money and just career growth opportunities. And being one of the youngest people, I tried to hitch my wagon up to that and see if I could make the same kind of moves. So that's actually what I ended up doing.
I think you said it does come down to the person. I like what you said. There's two things. When you say you're only as good as the job that you have, but you should always be working for the job that you want. And I think that's what a lot of people lose grasp on, their expectations versus their standards. Like they expect so much. But where's their standards at? Like, are you meeting those expectations? Where are you meeting your standards of all these expectations that you have, of other people and everything else? But also that that bi-weekly paycheck, people just wait for and live for, but they lose sight on their purpose in life and what's bigger. And like how you said, people left this camp to go to that camp for money purposes, for other reasons. But it does come down to the person. And trust me, I have worked with an amazingly large amount of lazy coworkers. But everybody's different. I've worked with some amazing people. And you said something earlier, because you don't always have to be the top salesperson. That doesn't show me your value as an employee. Your work ethic does. Like, I have led many different businesses and sales everywhere I've worked, but I work hard at everything that I try to do. It doesn't just mean sales to me. I try to be a good coworker, try to be a good employee, whatever the case may be. And I've seen a lot of people that like to make excuses. And so you said something that I love. It's about being honest with yourself. People don't like to do that. They like being honest with everybody else but themselves. So it comes down to what you value, what your work ethic is, and what you want to do in life. And a lot of employees like to complain about the culture of the store or the managers, but what are you doing to better that? Like,
Well, I think you're covering a really interesting point,
yeah,
especially about the honesty thing. And I think a lot of the complaints like the micromanaging, et cetera, that's all like low hanging fruit. That's
right,
what everybody wants to grab onto. But
correct,
I think for some of these people that, and still, I'm not as successful as I want to be. I'm not the number one underwriter in my position. Yeah, there's people who are doing better than me. But what I'm trying to say is, I think some of these people have unrealistic expectations.
right,
And
correct, yeah,
and even some of the people that have realistic expectations, let's say, oh, I want to be 2 levels above where I am right now within 5 years. They don't really understand exactly the mechanics of getting yourself to that point and sort of the personal development that you have to go through. And I know this is a lot of surface level and not a whole lot of specifics, but what I mean is really trying to think outside of your wheelhouse
right,
and push your knowledge to areas that you do not understand and just getting exposure. So there's a little bit of a risk there that you're putting yourself out of your comfort zone. And we're even talking about people that make $10 an hour.
right,
These people, the people that are really willing to put their time in outside of work, outside of regular work hours, to learn some of these skills and really develop themselves. I think those are the people that have the tools in the toolbox to get to these levels that we're talking about and sort of circumvent this whole, retail ladder that
right, correct.
navigating.
I like that. It is like I even said it earlier when I said the manager has to understand the employee, but the employee also has to understand where the manager is coming from and understand that role. But you said it like think outside your wheelhouse, which trust me, I get it's a lot harder to do, and I want people to really like hear me when I say I don't base my entire value to the company based off just of sales. Like, I try to be the best person that I can be while I'm at work. There's a culture you bring, and like you said, when I leave work, I may have left AT&T, but there's more work to be done for my own personal life that I want knowledge learning, like these podcasts that we're doing. There's just so much more that I have to do when I clock out of AT&T, but you have to be willing to want that. So I love what you said that you don't have to be a sales leader. You don't. That's not what the message me and Mark are saying. It's that value to have, the standards that you have. You have to have that standard for your own life. And I love that you said that. Like, people get lost in their expectations, bro. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think that okay, so the most common way to do that is through school, right?
Right,
So there's a lot of people out, like I have an MBA, which not everybody has, and there's a lot of people that are much smarter than me that don't have MBAs. But what that did for me was at least facilitate a method of trying to learn more. And luckily, I was working at Best Buy and then AT&T during college years, so I was always sort of immersed into that, asking more questions, sort of critical thinking type of mindset. But I think that may be where some of the disconnect is for some people that don't necessarily have some of the opportunities to go to college and that sort of thing. But I think even if the person has the ability to go to YouTube University, as I call it, or reading forums or calling people and just asking questions. Really, I mean, asking anyone.
You absolutely yes.
Yeah, I think you can sort of build that breadth of knowledge, and then if you're just intellectually curious, you can put yourself into a different level and sort of speak it into existence. And I think that that's just a personality trait. that is, it's more of a learned trait than it is a taught trait. It's hard to really teach that. It's more of a thing that you have to learn on your own. But
where you were like, I like where you were going, with the school thing. It's like people have to have structure, and I like how when you said it doesn't have to be school. I do agree with that. It doesn't have to be school. You have to have some type of structure, some type of want to continue to build yourself. That's true. It is. It is a mindset. It is a lifestyle. It's not temporary. It sticks with you once you have that. But what I do appreciate though from the retail setting is much. Craziness that we deal with, and the customers and then the nonsense, is we pretty much got paid for going to school in a sense. Like, we learned from that, and we were talking about this off the podcast. Like, you learn so much from what you ask from your manager, the profit and loss, the profit margins, the year over year, all these things that you would never learn just not having that job. But like you said, that's a mindset, that's a choice, that's that structure that you've built. That you built upon. But one thing I do want to jump to, because I want people to see, what retail is, but what also can come out of it. What was your jump? Because you already told them what you do now. How did you transition from retail to what you're currently doing?
So that's a good question. It's a loaded question, so I'm just going to sort of an identity crisis, a personal one, because I would look at my wife, who was becoming a nurse at the time, and I was like, wow, you're really doing some great things. And, my part-time cell phone sales job isn't really doing it for me from a fulfillment perspective. I didn't feel like I was getting everything I wanted out of life, and, that a lot of it had to do with the title, the money, the importance. There wasn't a whole lot of strategy to go over anymore. After you kind of learn the job, it's more about repetition. It was a great job, though. I loved the job. So I went through sort of that mindset, for a while, and I tried to move up through the company. I made some efforts to get a different position outside of the retail world within the same company. Because there was a large corporate presence here in Louisville at AT&T, and I sent some emails and made some phone calls, and really started asking some questions about how I can sort of further my career. But at least in my experience, there was a little bit of bottlenecking, and I felt like I was pushed into a corner of, hey, you're a retail salesperson, and hey, look, you're good at your job. Why would you do anything different? We need you to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing so good for us on the ground floor. And I thought, no, I want to work in, the skyscraper. I want to be a little bit more important here. So what can I do? Well, turns out there was no opportunities for me. And honestly, I was fed up. And I was surrounding myself with some people that had some recent success. And I went to them and I said, hey, what should I do? They said, well, honestly, you need to start networking. Well, the only people I've ever networked with are people that have bought things from me. So, and then that's sort of a different type of relationship, a customer relationship. So I decided to go to a networking event for investors and attorneys and small startup businesses. And I went in there looking completely out of place as a part-time cell phone salesperson. And the first person who asked me what I was doing there, I said, well, I'm here to find an internship. And she said, okay, well, actually, I know somebody that needs an intern. I said, really? And she said, yeah, I'm going to give you his number. So we started texting, and I think this was on a Monday. So by Thursday, I had started interviewing for the position, and they didn't understand exactly why I wanted to work there, but I basically pleaded that I wanted this job because I wanted to learn from them. And the person who was interviewing me was a Harvard business graduate. He had started one of the largest online casinos in the world. Massively brilliant man. And I was like, this is the opportunity that I need to bridge the gap from retail sales to anything else I've ever wanted to do. And so I took this massive risk. And so at the time, I was working at AT&T Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. with Tuesdays and Thursdays off. So I told this gentleman that I could work for him Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I worked 7 days a week for about 6 months straight, just soaking up everything that I could soak up. And during that time, I was preparing myself to make a transition, to make a jump. And believe it or not, Aaron, I actually took a pay cut at this point.
Wow.
But what I was doing was I was, obviously saving up, and I was trying to make a case for myself on Tuesday and Thursday to this company that I was working for. And mind you, this is a small startup financial company. So, I'm just trying to prove myself on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And to be honest with you, I sort of put the pressure on them. I was like, I want to have more involvement here. I want to do more for you. I have a lot to offer. Are there any opportunities here for me? And luckily, they wanted to pick me up. So I had a really good opportunity to lead AT&T at that time. And without burning bridges, I left on a good word and everything. But what it took was that massive risk. And what I gained from that, if anyone's curious, is I was able to sort of dig down into some raw skills that is required to work for a startup company. It's incredibly hard to work for a startup, and that, not to toot my own horn or anything, but when you're working for a company of 5 people, you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for taking out the trash, all the way to making investment decisions, to raising money, to covering losses. I mean, everything. So it really gave me a good opportunity to learn, a wide net of skills to really take me on anywhere. So I did that for about a year and a half. It was the hardest job I've ever had in my life. I had a really tough boss who, if you've ever seen the movie Whiplash, that's exactly what the relationship was.
Great movie, by the way. Great movie.
It's
Great
a good
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
It gives me PTSD to some point, because that was the relationship. It was really, really tough work environment, but that's just how it had to be. But luckily, while I was working there, and just to be completely transparent, I applied for 21 jobs after gaining some of this experience, and I got 0 callbacks, which was, obviously humbling and kind of put me in my place. But point being is, I just kept my head down. I kept doing the work. I promised my wife for better days, and I said, good things are coming. I promise. And out of the blue, one day, I got a call from the bank I work for now, and they said, "We think you applied for this position." And I was like, "What's the position? What is the job?" And I had no idea what they were offering me. And I went in and interviewed for it, and just somehow the skills that I had developed over the last few years working for this startup gave me everything I needed to work for the company I work for now. And since then, I've been promoted, I guess you could say, twice. One out of one position, and then I've been promoted within my position once. And trying to change that and keep moving up. And I really, really love what I do, and have a huge passion for real estate. And during that time, I got a master's degree as well, and just continue to develop personally. But sort of back to the main theme of that whole thing was, I said, screw this. I'm going to take a freaking risk.
Yes.
I'm going to speak this into existence,
Yes.
which I did. I literally told people, I am going to work in finance.
Yes.
Whatever that means to you, okay? And that was a pretty cocky statement for somebody that almost failed out of college, had absolutely no exposure to finance in his childhood or high school or college. But what it took was just pulling all-nighters, looking, this is actually something that I don't share very often, but I'll save it for your podcast, Aaron. So I never got accepted to business school in my undergrad, which was humbling, because I wasted my time, on things that didn't matter, which I'm glad I did then, and I don't obviously do that now. But so I went to the university. I said, I really want to be in business school. My GPA is 3 points, 0.3 points away from being able to be in the business school, and they said no. And I said, okay. So I ended up taking every single elective that they offered in the business school that you didn't have to be accepted in the business school to do. So I graduated with like 30 extra credit hours because I was like, you know what, I'm going to still learn this because I know it's going to pay off.
Right.
And it did 4 years later, but point being is, I just spoke it into existence and put the work in. So
I'm so happy for you. That was, guys, first of all, me and Mark have not seen each other in 6 years, but no love was lost. But this is the type of kid he was at age 17. This is the point I'm making. This is kind of like the full circle of what I really wanted to be the tone was, no matter if you're, that manager in retail or that employee, it does come down to being honest with yourself and who you are and your work ethic and what you put in. And you have to understand both sides to do that, but you also kind of have to have that mindset that no matter what happens, make it a positive outcome. Because I know you went through some negative things in both AT&T and Best Buy that kind of hindered your path or slowed it down or roadblocks up. But that's the thing, about people like you. And I will tell you right now, everybody that's ever worked with me, especially manager-wise, they know I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very outspoken. But the thing about it is, I try to make everything better for the culture and have a positive outcome. I will say what I want to say, but I know what my job is, and I know what needs to be done. But my expectations meets my standards, but my standards exceeds everything because I keep myself to such a high standard because that's who I am. I always want to learn. I love what you said earlier. Like when I leave work, I've read 9 books since I've been in quarantine, which is insane. But it's just I have more time now. I study so much, but that's the type of person you are. Your story needs to be heard, and that was such an amazing story. But I want people to see that work in retail, whether that you may grow within the retail corporate ladder or you may have another path, and that's okay. But what you can't let happen is the retail hell to bury you. And that's what we want to speak to today, because that's just a mindset in your head. Micromanaging just a mindset in your head. You just heard Mark. His boss at the startup company was breathing down his neck, but guess where he is now? Because he didn't let that stop him. They may have the way they handle things, but you are your own person still, manager and employee. And you should be the most positive person you can be, helping people in their path. Helping other people is probably one of my favorite things in the entire world. I love learning, but helping others get to where they want to go is such a beautiful thing. But not everybody has that. So that's what I brought you on for today, because I knew your story. I knew how far you've come, and I know that you've been in the battle trenches with me in a retail setting. I mean, we can have an entire separate podcast about stories, about customers, and about craziness. But that's all part of the job. A part of the job is, getting yelled at sometimes because we wear the company symbol on our work attire. A part of the job is having to deal with the pressures of sales, the pressures of being managed. Like, yes, you can hope for a positive and understanding manager, but you're not always going to get that. But you can't blame your failures on their practices. And I want you guys to hear that. And it's vice versa. A manager can't blame their failures on somebody else's behaviors. If you want that to change, you have to help them change that. And I think that's what the baseline of this is. But I'll go ahead and let you speak to that too, because I just went on a rampage, a ramp right there.
Well, there's some interesting aspects to that, and I think what people who are listening might really want to be looking for is, they hear the words, they see people say, oh, I'm motivating you. This is me motivating you. You need to get off your butt and put the work in, and that's really how it's done. But I think for some people, what they need to do is take a step back and look at exactly what that means.
Right.
So,
right.
One of the things that I looked at when I was getting my MBA was sort of the factors of motivation. And I think a lot of people, because of their situation, are sort of indirectly motivated, or they have emotional motivators. So I think like one of those things could be my wife is pregnant. I'm motivated to do this job
Right.
because my wife is pregnant, or my parents support me, and I need to help them, or just any emotional factor about your current situation. I think motivates people, but even greater than that, I think economic pressure is really what. And when I say motivates people, I don't mean in a positive way. I just mean motivates them to do the job.
Right.
I don't mean like a positive, I'm leading people and that sort of thing. I just mean keep the gears turning. And I think mostly people have economic pressure.
Right.
And I think this is the breadth of really what it is. It's obligation. And what's interesting is one of my favorite managers ever. He started asking me a bunch of questions, and he said, do you have any kids? At the time, I was like 20 years old. No, I don't have any kids. He's like, do you have any, student debt? Thankfully, I didn't have very much at the time. I was like, not a whole lot of student debt. He's like, do you have a car payment? I'm like, not really. I mean, I got a small one, but it's not really that big of a deal. I'm not a big car guy. He was looking to see what kind of obligations that I had.
Right.
Because he was wanting to remind me of these pressures. He was like,
right.
Well, if you don't have any of these things, how in the world are you motivated to do this job?
Right.
Because he liked to hire people that had a lot of obligations, because he's like, I know these people are going to sell.
Right.
I'm going to ask the questions because this commission means everything to them.
Man.
So he kind of we had an interesting relationship, because he's like, I really can't figure out why you're motivated or how you're motivated, because you just come here and have a great time. Like, this is a hobby for you.
Right.
And the thing is, for me, I identified with more of an intrinsic motivation.
Right.
Which was just more like, this is a culture I want to be a part of.
Right.
These are the people I want to work with. I'm motivated just being a part of this team, enjoying the technology, and racking up the money.
Right.
In commissions. And that was my motivation. It had nothing to do with obligation, but I think when people actually, write down and sort of separate what these pressures are,
right,
and why they do certain things, it might help them sort of roadmap their path, either in their career or out of their career into something different.
I completely agree. Because I actually, what you said, I did in one of my earlier podcasts. I said, write everything down. You see it. And thank you for sharing the thing you've never shared with before. Now you made me want to share something, which is true, because it's so true. Any sales manager love those people who have those financial obligations or those things they got to pay for, because those people are gonna kill it on the sales floor, absolutely kill it. I mean, of course, we all like having money in our account. I do enjoy that. I do live by myself, so I have to pay bills. I have to pay a lot of things. It's not really the money that drives me. I like learning everything, but there was a point in time before I came to AT&T that I was working for like an engineering type company dealing with dry ice, and it was just, at that time I was very confused of what I wanted to do in life, and I gave up a great opportunity. It was a great company in Louisville, an absolutely amazing company, a job that my father helped me get, and coming to now being a 32-year-old man, I messed that up, bro. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I messed it up because I didn't know what I wanted to do. But what you said, I had to take a step back. And along that time, when I was taking a step back, a good friend, a mutual friend of ours, told me to come to AT&T. And I was like, all right, I guess I will. But I had to ask myself, what do I want in life? Because I just messed up this career-type job. Although I had a very hard work ethic. That never stopped. I just didn't have any direction to point that at. So now I'm at AT&T, and I'm doing very well at my job, but there's just more to it. I'm doing so much outside of those walls to get where I want to go. And I like what you said. It's not always, I love what you said. It's not always going to be financial obligations. It's not always going to be something that you can see that's going to drive you, but you do have to have that type of drive to get it going. We've seen all the YouTube videos of get up and get going, rise and grind. It's easier said than done. I will say that. It is. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I know Mark will agree with this. This life is not easy to be this driven. I'm going to tell you, I get up every morning at 4 a.m. and I make no excuse, because I know the standard I hold myself to. It's not an easy life. So I get it. The other side of this is an easier life to live. So if you want to live that life, more power to you. But once you come on the other side, trust me, you got to keep pushing because it gets harder and harder every day. Just because Mark is where he is right now, trust me, his plate got fuller and fuller. His work is more work to be done. It never stops, but you learn so much more and you appreciate that. You appreciate those moments that challenge you. Everything that you feel like you can't get out of, then you find a way out. Those 21 jobs he applied for, everybody said no, but he didn't stop. And then that little slither of light gave him an opportunity and he took it. But he never stopped working hard. And I think that's what it comes down to each individual is, you got to find that little slither of light that Mark got and you got to just roll with it. But I'll let you go ahead with your stuff.
Well, I think when people kind of hear that, what like the motivation is. One thing that worked for me personally that I would tell anybody, especially young people, is the rise and grind mentality. It can look really different than what that sounds like.
Right.
So for me, the way that I was able to do it was literally by asking questions to everybody.
Right.
Every person that I met, I asked what they did. I asked how they did it, how they got there. I asked, what their unique skills were, and just built relationships that way. And funny enough, so one of my customers at Best Buy, doing my question asking at people that I was really interested in, he told me that he worked in this one area of the bank, and I thought, wow, I've never even heard of that. I didn't even know people did that. And it's actually the same exact department that I work in because people will tell me stories about this guy. He doesn't work there anymore, but they'll be like, oh, you don't know him? This is so-and-so. And I'm like, no, I do know them. They're my customer at Best Buy.
That's dope.
Like,
That's dope. That's cool. That's cool.
What does that even mean?
That's cool.
But the thing is, I think that some people that, don't necessarily have the, Navy SEAL mentality of kind of rising and grinding and really putting in the quote-unquote work, I think that one way to formulate your own motivation is to ask the questions, build a roadmap, look at some calculated risks that you can take within your job or outside of your job, and really network through relationships. I mean, that's really the only way that you're going to be able to elevate yourself beyond exactly what you're doing. And that can be through volunteering, that can be through friendship, that can be through internships, forums, anything. And the thing is, what people will learn is that more people are willing to talk to you than you think.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna say this, and wrapping it up, and I'll let you give your final thoughts. And this is literally speaking to what you just said, is if you're the fastest person in your group of friends and you continue to race those same people, you're only slowing down because you're always going to be the fastest. You have to find people who are faster than you to challenge yourself and to grow. And I think that's a mindset you have to have in life. If you're the smartest person, the strongest person, the most talented person, you're staying in this circle because it's a comfort zone. And trust me, I get it. Everybody likes being comfortable, but you have to challenge yourself to truly find out who you are and to grow and to build upon that. And I like what you said. I'm the same type of person. Oh man, I think I annoy people of how many questions or discussions I like having about certain things because I bug people every day. I just like knowing things. But if you don't ask those questions, you're not going to find any answers in life. And that's what I want people to take away from today. It does come down to your mentality, comes down to your lifestyle. And and you just got to have that drive. And it's not going to be easy to find that drive. Like you said, you got to dig deep. I had to dig deep. It took experiences. I hate saying it took time. Time is the most valuable thing we have. It took situations and experiences for me to really find those answers that I was looking for, to find out who I truly was and what I wanted to do. And ever since then, it's just, I know the path that I have now. But I'll go ahead and let you give your final thoughts on retail hell and everything that we talked about.
Well, Aaron, I think that we've covered it pretty well. I think, let's say you're a young person, let's say you're any person, and you have a job in retail, and you're thinking, how can I get out of this, or how can I grow within, I'm stagnant. What can I do? Well, I think you can educate yourself because there's a lot of areas of retail that you can put settings. I think you can talk about supply chain and how the product moves through the company and how you assist with that. Obviously, the sales aspect and how detailed that can get. Any type of management opportunities, reporting tools, just running reports and understanding what these reports mean is such a big data point. And most companies use similar types of reporting. So if you can understand one at the current company you're at, that will translate on throughout. So I think sort of doing those things is a great way to put tools in your toolbox. It's going to take some luck, but the thing is, the harder you work, the luckier you are. So if you're able to sort of build up those tools and try to move forward, you'll find yourself becoming lucky, certainly. So I think if you feel stagnant because of the people you're surrounded by, maybe the risk that you take is changing locations and finding a new management group to work with, finding a mentor within, or finding somebody who will champion the change that you're looking for. And so the risks that we talk about, I took a huge risk, which, in hindsight may have been stupid, but your risk can be much more calculated and be realistic and say, hey, I'm going to keep all the same protections that my company's given me, like my pay and consistency for supporting my family, but I'm gonna disrupt some of these relationships that I have and create change.
Absolutely. I want to leave everybody with one of my favorite sayings is the person who does more than what they're paid for will always get paid more for what they do. And Mark is an amazing example from beginning to end. Thank you, Mark, for joining us. It was truly an honor. You guys know me. I'm Elu. And you guys know my mantra, SAGE, sacrifice, achieve, grow, exceed. And this is 24/8, 8 days of hustle in 7. Did you have fun, bro?